said you were not going to ask me that question.
Let's say I'm trying to figure out whether to marry you.
I'm taken. Graduate from Harvard. You're a big deal.
There were only two people who thought so. It was my mother and me.
I always looked at trends and so on. Remember in the early days when television started, each station was sort of homogenized. It had news at a certain hour, and it had ethnic programming maybe Saturday morning, and it had sort of a mixture of all sorts of programming, no specialization. And I thought, you know, there'll come a time when people will want to be more watching just sports or just young people's programming or so on. But there aren't enough airwaves there. We don't have the spectrum to do it. So it will never happen. And then I read a little book, and cable, the big fat pipe, would enable us to deliver more channels to homes. It was 12 in the early days, 6 in the very early days. But it would allow us to move towards a viewing experience where you'd have a sports station and a music station and so on and so forth. We thought that we should start some channels on programming from ethnic programming from different countries, because we would go to homes and try to sell them cable, and they say no speak English and so on and so forth, and this was not very good. So we started these channels just for them, and sales picked up immediately. Got to work very hard. That's the most important thing. Maybe 7 days a week after week after week. If you do work hard like that, you have a better chance of being lucky, because you got to have some luck. I think you need passion. You have to understand, why are you working 7 days a week? You're not doing it to increase your wealth. Entrepreneurs don't really do it and go home at night and see how much money they have. They are working for a purpose and to build something that will last their life. I really passionately wanted to buy it. One night, my wife and I were in the back of the house in the garden, and I'd had a fair bit to drink, and I was regaling her about how we got to get this back. And you know what she said? She said, "Ted, you've got your own now. You've got CHFI and you've got CFTR, which became 680 News. You'd have to sell off one of those. And I think you should put behind you the past and just look to the future." And so from that moment on, I have never had an ambition to buy it back.